You know Kathy's going to pivot to XRP. Goldman Sachs is the biggest holder right now. In institutional XRP investors, it's going to be epic. She's going to be shilling Ripple and XRP. It's just a matter of time. We're going to hear from Kathy about what a big moment this is for crypto.
About stablecoins, Tether, and their potential. Do you think it has a chance to become big in the U.S. under the Genius Act? And you've also invested in Circle. Are you looking at other stablecoin related players beyond that? Crypto Bill, tell me.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on right now.
There is a lot going on.
There's a big meeting at Mar-a-Lago. Like, I know a lot of crypto folks. Like, tell us.
Well, and you know, in the last election, I do think the crypto community was was part of the swing factor because they knew deregulation would take place under this administration. That's absolutely true. So yes, we're seeing the deregulation. You know, this is creating a new financial world order.
The new financial world order is coming. Deregulations are coming. We are going to get the Clarity Act passed. We're right at the precipice. It's only a matter of time. And I'll tell you the blockchains that's going to help. That's going to help the utility blockchains, the ones that institutions need clarity to use. Because it's one thing to put a few dollars into a Bitcoin or even an Ethereum. It's another to transfer your whole infrastructure over to something like the XRP ledger. That's going to be the difference maker for us. The moment that thing passes, it's time to start onboarding. And that's when you're going to see salespeople like Kathy Wood start selling you on that vision for XRP. It's just a matter of time. Probably before the end of this year, you'll see a big pivot. And who are the big stablecoin players? You best believe Ripple's going to be right up there with all of them. They're building the infrastructure. They're getting the licensure on a global scale. It is going to be pandemonium. And we're going to go over some stories that really come right into our wheelhouse. Very specific risks for Bitcoin that I think people are not taking seriously enough, that give blockchains like the XRP ledger with very specific architecture a real chance here.
Many people think the dollar should be going down because of our deficit and debt and all of that. And what we're seeing here in the United States is deregulation, tax cuts, and a very business-friendly administration. We think the return on invested capital is going to go up in the U.S. generally, and we think that the crypto revolution, we were at risk of losing it.
Yeah.
And yes, we do think USAT has a shot.
You do?
Yes.
And that's the thing. If you hear what she's saying, it is so contrary to what the previous crypto generation believed. We think the dollar should be going down. It's not. Why? Because, as Chris Larson told us, the dollar is going to be expanded through blockchain with things like the XRP ledger, open and decentralized technology where you can zip stablecoins into any territory you want. It's not going to weaken the dollar, the yuan, the yen, the euro. It's going to strengthen those major currencies and really expand their reach in a big way as we go forward. Now, as we look at this, the reality of this crypto revolution, Bitcoin, you know I love Bitcoin, but it has some very specific risks that are an opportunity for other blockchains. First, you see a lot of people dismiss it, but Bitcoin miners, they're starting to transition to AI because there's a lot of money there. There's a lot of money for that infrastructure, and it is constant. It's not just when Bitcoin goes up in value, you're making good money. You're making good money each and every day, and we see more of that network keep shifting from Bitcoin mining to AI infrastructure. That trend is going to continue. What effect will it have long-term on the Bitcoin network? This could be bad, really, long-term. A lot of people tell you it means nothing, not a big deal, especially if we go on a long-term and sustained downturn where usually the weak miners turn their miners off, the strongs consolidate, and they kind of gobble everything up. That ain't going to happen this time around. Everyone has that option to transition over to AI to make money on a consistent basis every single quarter. Providing infrastructure to artificial intelligence, is that going to hurt the Bitcoin network? And is this an opportunity for those efficient networks, things like the XRP ledger that aren't a big power grab? Well, I think it could be. Then we see the clock is ticking for Bitcoin to prevent quantum threat. And this is the deal. Quantum, it's coming for everything, right? We have to be prepared. XRP ledger, they're planning for this day. But when you build your whole brand about digital gold, and that as long as you have your keys, you got your crypto, they're going to have to burn people's crypto. And if they don't act, if they don't take part in the transition to the new, quantum resistant chain, if Satoshi, for whatever reason, can't get to his keys, doesn't want to touch them, if these people, these OG Bitcoin, about 25% of the total stash of this quote unquote digital gold, if they don't jump through the hoops and transfer it over, or maybe they don't have their keys today, but they find them tomorrow, they're going to lose access to their funds forever. And I'm telling you this, people are saying quantum is decades away. We don't know that. When you look at how quickly artificial intelligence has run up on us, things change quick, technologies accelerate, and the quantum threat could be much closer than we know. We look at the XRP ledger. What are they doing right now? They're saying, look, we want to have a plan where in 2026, if something was to go down, and we don't think it will, we could, if we were forced to, we could make that transition now. It's a fail-safe. We got it in place, and then we're going to keep testing, and we're going to be ready 3 years down the road where we can do a controlled transition, provided nothing in the interim breaks with quantum, or we see, oh no, North Korea's got some quantum system or some other adversarial country, or even the U.S. government. Don't make no mistake. The U.S. government is suspect as any of them out there. If some tyrannical government out there gets quantum capabilities and we need to, hey, we can throw caution to the wind and just go because we have to. But other than that, if that doesn't happen, we have a controlled roadmap here to make sure the XRP ledger is quantum resistant and done in a safe manner. Is that going to happen for Bitcoin? And this is the problem. There is no way to do that and maintain that digital gold narrative. Now, the last one's not really fair because it's not Bitcoin, but it's part of the infrastructure. And I'm telling you right now, we're already seeing the cracks. Michael Saylor saying, well, make sure you buy more Bitcoin than you sell. That was not his message until, well, this week. And now, we're in a pretty good time within crypto. Bitcoin itself, it's not down in the doldrums like we know it can be. If you were post 17, you know what happens. When that sucker came all the way down, and we stayed down for so long, it was so depressing. And even when we rally up close to 9,000, boom, it would get knocked back down to 3. If this sucker runs into something like that, and you get something long sustained and exceptionally vicious, and I guarantee you that day will come. If that happens, he's going to crack. He's having to sell Bitcoin now, and it gets exponentially worse because he's going to have to keep buying Bitcoin, or he has no purpose of having strategy, which means borrowing more money, issuing more preferred stocks. Those preferred dividends continue forever, so you just keep stacking more and more dividends on top, and people are starting to wake up saying, oh, wait a minute, the math don't make sense. You can't just borrow money forever with no ability to service that debt, and it's probably not a good idea to infinitely issue preferred stock as well. Of course he's going to have to sell. He's going to have to sell all of it someday. This whole thing is going to come crashing down, and people are just getting a taste of it. And what's probably going to happen here likely is we're going to get clarity. The market's going to rebound, and people are going to say, oh, Michael Saylor, he was right all along. No, he's right for now. As many gamblers get lucky, but this is going to continue to be a problem. And when he hits a buzzsaw, it's going to be all over Red Rover. And that's going to affect the whole crypto market. Make no mistake, it's not just going to hurt Bitcoin. We're all going to get hit by this. But you have all these things, these risks stacking up directly on top of Bitcoin. This could be an opportunity for another ecosystem, another asset, another vision for the cryptocurrency future. Let me know what you think down below. As always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link.